What's up guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to be installing this massive 7 horsepower engine on this homemade mini bike. So far we got the front tire, the rear tire, the sprocket and our brake disc all on. So for this engine I'm going to have to drill out the holes in this plate, make them so we can slide the engine up and forward. We're also going to do the throttle, the chain and the clutch. So hopefully by the end of this video we might be able to drive this, apart from the brakes, which are going to be in another later video. So let's go ahead and mark these holes for this engine. So what you guys see right now here is a centrifugal clutch. This has 12 teeth and it runs 35 chain. The sprocket in the back, sorry for the sun, but the sprocket is also 35 chain obviously, and this is 75 teeth. So now we're gonna have to line up the two sprockets, and we're gonna do this by using the chain. I have chain 35 chain, which I'm gonna put over this and that. Once we find how much we need, I'm gonna cut it out and we'll install the chain. So guys, just like that, I figured out how much chain I need. The chain ends right here, so we're gonna have to remove this pin. So I have some whiteout which I'm gonna use to mark this stuff, so then after that we can just get the grinder and simply cut it off. So guys, I used some whiteout and marked where I'm gonna cut the chain. So with the grinder, simply just cut off this link. So we cut this chain to size. Took me a few minutes, but it's done. Now you get your master clip, you put this through, and then there's this pin, and then there's the actual lock thing. So let's go ahead and install this first. Here we go. That. Then you get your pin, it's right here. Right there, and now you can install the clip. Make sure the pointed part, have it pointing away from the clutch. The open mouth part away from the clutch. So guys, now what I need to do is make sure these two clutches are lined up. Chain is on, the tire spins freely, but I'm not sure if they're 100% lined up. So I'm gonna figure that out, use the whiteout, mark the holes for the engine, and then we can start drilling those out. So after a while guys, I just drilled out 2 holes. Now I'm gonna put the chain back on and connect this engine, bolt it on. The other 2 holes I'll do later because my drill's dead first of all, and secondly I want to see if everything's lined up. Guys, this is gonna be the first start. I left it in front of a wall, so if anything happens it goes straight into the wall. But we have no brakes, that's great. The chain is on, the sprocket, everything is lined up. I drilled the holes like I told you, bolted 2 parts of the engine, the other 2 bolts still need to drill because the drill is dead. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Just turn the choke off, feel on. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm actually so excited. First start. Guys, just to confirm, the bike does work. I was sitting down and then I played with the throttle. It got me going. The only thing that sucks right now is I don't have a throttle cable, so I can't drive it, and we have no brakes, so it's extremely scary. It has a ton of torque. As soon as you give it the gas, it literally jumps, you jump back. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Another thing we're gonna have to do, not done yet, but is design some sort of chain tensioner. Since I only drilled 1 hole there, and I don't plan on sliding the engine forward, I just want to have a pretty decent chain tensioner that I could always just adjust, because people have a lot of problem with 35 chain. Since it is super skinny, it tends to stretch. So we're gonna have to be designing a really nice chain tensioner. But for now, all I can do is drill out the other holes And yeah, just wait for things to happen. So just letting you guys know right now, I bolted the engine completely with all 4 bolts. I put 2 nuts at the bottom of each bolt. So this thing is like strong and firm. I just turn it on, move it a bit, and it works fine. When I come back in a bit, we're gonna make a chain tensioner. So the first step to make the chain tensioner is to get a piece like this, just basically a 1x1, and then drill a hole, same size of your bolt. So if you have a bolt that's 1/4 inch, drill a 1/4 inch hole. Once you've drilled your hole, get your 2-inch bolt and just put it through that. So that's how the chain tensioner is gonna work. Now what we need to get is some sort of tube, and this will help us extend this. This already has the holes drilled out, so I'm just gonna use this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I drilled a hole there, and just ignore this hole. This is about like 4 inches. Now the remains of it is right here, and I'm gonna weld it like this. Just basically like an L shape. And this will be my tensioner. You can loosen it and move it up and down. So as you can see, I just welded this tensioner on. Hopefully you can see the welds down there. But now I can just loosen this bolt and adjust it however I want. So let me go and find out the right settings, and then I'll get right back to you. So I just rode this thing around just a little bit from here to there. Worked pretty well, just that I can't really go fast here. But chain tensioner held up great, easy to adjust, and so far no problems, and it's tensioned correctly. Maybe still a little bit looser, but it's fine for now. I think if you have problems, you can just tighten it later. So last time we started working on this bike was about a week ago, and since then I ordered a throttle and it finally has arrived. I quickly went and installed this left grip on this bike, used some WD-40 and just put it on. Now let's assemble the throttle. So I'm going to install it for you guys and show you how I do it. So for the throttle, the first thing you want to do is grab this piece. This is the piece with this open end here. This is where you feed the cable. This is the cable. Make sure you have this pushed all the way up, this piece. Just like that. Then push this in here and screw this on. Just leave a little bit of just leave a few threads, and that's where you can tighten this piece. And that's how it'll stay firm. Then the barrel on the inside, pull it. Pull the barrel, and the barrel will come out just like that. And there's this small piece with this groove on it, and that's where this wire will wrap around. The way we install it is quite simple. We move the wire back and just put it in here. Make sure the wire is stretched out and it fits in this groove right here, like that. Then once you have this cable, go ahead and get your grip. There's this hole in here which is drilled, and that's where this barrel will go. So let me try to put this in. And you'll hear a clicking sound. There we go. Then grab your casing, cover it up, and use the bolts provided to tighten it. Make sure you don't over tighten, because this is a plastic casing and you don't want to ruin it. Alright guys, so that was basically it for this week's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. We've got the throttle on, the chain tensioner, the tires, the engine, the stand. It works. Now next week we just needed the kill switch and also the brakes. So that's it, and I'll see you guys next week.